Chimera's Ghost is set in the 1980s and follows 12-year-old Tyler Flores as he struggles with his queer identity under the shadow of his religious mother. He creates an imaginary friend named Ziggy to cope, but he soon realizes he can't hide who he is forever.
What I hope people love about this movie is that it's really reaching out and bringing together the queer community.
I was just so excited to work on a script that has to do with a queer story again and, horror, which is my favorite genre as well.
Neon lighting up this space. You take my hand in yours. Lock eyes and pull me close.
The name Chimera's Ghost comes from a comic book we made after our first short film, Crumbs. I love the word chimerical, which means imaginary beast. Since the story builds on the same world, Chimera's Ghost felt right, especially because the ghost represents the monster seen through the eyes of the mother.
I think that Ziggy, it's not an average ghost, but it's just kind of like the undealt version of my traumas, just made into one person.
When I pitched the idea to my DP, Rob Zawistowski, I said I wanted a God's eye perspective to reflect the religious themes. He added, what if we also showed the devil's view, from below? That led us to using water as a gateway from hell. We shot from above and below to create this visual paradox of right and wrong.
I think that we had a really ambitious film for the resources that we were able to get, and the film community coming and standing behind us was really beautiful, and so we were able to create something that I think it could have maybe been just as good, but now it is like out of the water amazing.
When Jesse came to me with the pitch and was like, can you make a face melt? I was like, oh my God, yes. I could have made this so easy, I could have just done the skin and then the blood and that's it. But I was like, no, we gotta get the layered skin, we gotta get the eyeballs in there, we gotta make it look so real that it just grosses people out.
The edit is actually something that I almost thought I was gonna bump up against. There was a moment where I didn't know how to transition out of a certain scene, and I just came up with this idea to shift through the ground, and it ended up actually being a visual motif for the rest of the film, really. So when we're pushing through into the ground and into the mirror, that's not something that we planned for or shot for, and that's where I was able to use some AI technology to build in what would be there.
This film took over a year to make, and I didn't want to rush it. I knew the score had to be perfect. I finally got to work with Vancouver composer Ethan Lawrence, and then he brought on Leo award-winning Finca Wood. Together, they built a soundscape that equaled parts haunting and beautiful.
Lord, cleanse him of that wretched man.
I was very happy with our location, which was incredible. We got to film in this huge 2-acre property with this beautiful house, and the homeowner was amazing, which was a very nice thing to have.
Reading the script and diving into everything, I really wanted Tyler's worldview to come to life in his home because it is very controlled by his mother. So I wanted that to really come into the set and have Tyler always feel trapped and watched by his religion and his mom.
What I hope people take away from the film is just to be kind to people. You never really know what anyone's going through, and especially as queer people, a lot of our struggles are silent in the world. So just going about life with that in mind and spreading love and empathy and kindness.
I really hope that they're able to walk away from this having a bit of a moment of thought and empathy for those that they haven't before, while also thinking, wow, that was told in a really creative, cool way.
I can't wait for you to watch it. And thank you to everyone who made this film the way it is. I couldn't have done it without you.